Blam blam. Hello.
Hey, hi, hello. How you doing? How you going? Ni how are ya? It's been a hot minute since we've been back here, but my name is D. I'm the dungeon master over here at the Chocolatiers. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. Let's go ahead and run through some introductions so we can actually play this game because we've been absent for a couple of weeks and we've got some catching up to do before we get back into tonight's session. So let's go ahead and sprint through some introductions. We're gonna change up the order first. Natalie, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yo, I exist, and I'm here to do things.
Kick ass and chew bubblegum?
I'm just really trying very, very hard. I was gonna turn around and say I'm here to lie to you and fuck doors, and I was like, that's a really bad sentence. Um,
We were having a
so I was
weird
trying to
conversation
stop
before this.
myself. Yeah, we were having a strange conversation before we turned over. But I was trying to stop myself, but in trying to stop myself, I couldn't think of anything else. It's like when someone tells you don't say something, and all you can think in your brain is like, say it. Say that one
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what we're going with today. I play Natalie, half orc barbarian, absolutely wonderful. Definitely isn't going to have an awful time today. um, but also doesn't like doors. So that is the point that I wanted to make. She is not in any way, shape, or form interested in sexual relations with a door. Thank you.
I appreciate the clarification.
I, for
Uh,
one, found it way too defensive, and now I think Natalie wants to
yeah,
have
yeah.
sexual
Well,
relations with doors.
a
There's a
little
lot
bit
of
of
pent up,
over.
like repressed energy there with the wanting to fuck up doors.
Uh,
It all makes sense now.
speaking of which, Emmy, let's talk about some repression. Tell us about
Oh,
yourself.
I thought we were going to speak up some bed. I'm muting
Yeah.
myself.
Perfect introduction to Emmy. She is a tiefling warlock with daddy issues, mummy issues, issues, so many issues. I'm Nicole. It's good to see y'all again. I don't know if my dog's yapping is being picked up by my mic.
Nope.
I've noticed that I'm not getting like a little green thing when she yaps, so hopefully she isn't annoying everyone. If she
Mhm.
is, I apologize in advance.
We love puppy. Awesome. And the older sister to Emmy, Oriana, maybe not repression, but perhaps suppression.
Yeah, probably like a little bit of both. I am also having the same dog problem. I made a pie earlier today and it sat out on the counter for a little bit, so my house smells like pie, so my dog is very upset. She didn't get any fucking pie. But I am Lefson. I play Oriana. She is also a tiefling. She is Eminence's older sister. She's a war cleric, and most of her issues are anger issues. But
Those
there's
are good
there's a
issues.
bunch more in there.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing those issues discussed and potentially addressed over the course of this episode because there will be plenty of opportunities. The party, the Chocolatiers, find themselves at the bottom of the pot, at the center of this enormous cavern. The party, gosh, where to even begin with this? In their desire to try and investigate a series of strange disturbances at a location called the Pot, the party came to this hot spring village and found that a number of people had been disappearing from a local sanatorium called Ridden's Dredge, just outside of the village proper. Every night at midnight, any living thing within a certain radius of Ridden's Dredge vanished with no sign or proof that they were ever there. So the party did the only reasonable thing. They stayed in the sanatorium until midnight and found themselves vanishing along with their good friend Thrinarv Largegut. They teleported seemingly nowhere to perhaps a different time but the same place to Ridden's Dredge itself proper, where they found all of the people who were missing. They were approached by several of the patients of the sanatorium, some of the staff as well, and investigated this strange seeming location where all of the missing people were but none of the rest of the world happened to be, as if they were on their own separate sort of layer of reality. The party quickly found that every night at midnight, the ground erupts in a massive earthquake, killing anyone and everyone located within this layer of reality, only to wake up a few moments later at 4 p.m. the day before. However, everyone else doesn't seem to remember the previous day's event, a sort of Groundhog Day in which the party are the only ones who remember the events. However, every now and again, someone seemed to have flashbacks of their previous time spent within this time bubble, this time loop. And those memories seem to be correlated to that person knowing that they were supposed to die before the earthquake, thereby, for some reason, removing them from the time loop entirely. To where? Party doesn't know. After a series of different investigations and explorations, the party managed to come into contact with Alexia, one of the patients of the sanatorium, and potential murderer of a number of folks at Ridden's Dredge. And through, I don't even know, weird communications and conversations with Alexia, we're able to negotiate with her to the root of it all, where they were brought deep beneath the hot springs to the den of the Deep Father, a massive sulfur-filled cavern, hot enough to warm the hot springs above, housing an enormous red-scaled leviathan, a worm of magnificent size, making an ancient dragon look positively tiny by comparison. This massive creature seemed to have two pedestals next to its head. One to the right, which seems to be some sort of teleporter that Natalie was able to discover with the clever use of a dagger to escape the time bubble before returning back in through this pedestal, and another one which houses a dais with two small objects on it, a dais in front of a horde of treasure piled up into the curled beast's neck. Gold coins, art, suits of armor, weapons, magical objects, but prominently displayed at the front of them is this pedestal with these two objects on it. And so the three of you now find yourselves about 20 feet away from the snout of this massive beast. You can feel every shuddering inhalation and exhalation as the hot sulfurous air brushes over the tops of your head. The two sisters, this is somewhat reminiscent of some of your earlier travels through the upper levels of hell, which is very much the red, barren hellscape you would imagine it to be, just the warm, sulfurous air. However, this cavern is pitch black. The only light is the light that you have brought with you. And behind you, about 30 feet back, keeping her distance, is Alexia herself. She is not approaching too much as the three of you have now regrouped at the foot of this beast's massive closed maw. The air is hot and stuffy. You can feel your eyes kind of water a little bit under the pressure of this. But the day is yours. What would you like to do?
An excellent
Nothing-
question. An
Yeah,
excellent
nothing is
question.
acceptable. Yeah, you can leave if you want.
Quietly panic.
Yeah, exactly.
You just vibe for a bit.
Is there any chance, while we chat for a bit, would you be able to draw this up quickly? I'm just kind of struggling to put my brain on what the room looks like, even if it is literally just X's on a page.
I think we tried to do that last time, but that also got confused, so I'll try again.
Only because I know it's going to be very technical, the way that we approach this. And I don't want to be like,
Sure.
I go ahead. And then it's like, there is actually a wall there, dingus.
Yeah.
Can't go
I
that
walk
way.
forward. Into the wall?
While they're drawing, I think my instincts are to try to figure out what is on the pedestal. Those two objects are of most concern to me. But I'm also, that was like right in front of the dragon's snout, wasn't it? Leviathan's.
From the distance that you currently are, it does look like a dragon, but just upscaled by some significant degree.
We had
So dragon is an appropriate term.
discovered. Who worked that out? Someone worked that out at the end of the last episode that it was just a really old dragon. Well, it might have been you, Eminence.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now how we got onto that topic of, because it was Alexia that told us, right? Because she can speak in this
Yeah.
room.
Oh, maybe that was
I
it.
do remember
We
very
did-
confidently being like, that's not a dragon, because I didn't know in D&D the Leviathans are just very, very, very fucking old dragons. So it wasn't me that figured it out.
One of us did. The important thing is, I guess,
Someone
that
did.
the party knows that. So, yay.
Awesome. This is a rough. Oh my gosh, this is a rough top-down view.
If you want to send it in chat, we can.
I'll hold it up.
It looks like someone going like this.
I'm like,
Yay!
or a cat stretched down. This is the head.
Yep.
And then it's got the two pedestals, and then there's like a really, really big old hoard of good stuff over here.
Yeah.
And looking at it, it looks as if the creature, the dragon, is like leaned on top of the pile. So you expect it also extends like underneath the body to some degree.
And we're looking down at it. So the one on the right in front of
from
the
the top.
pile is the
that's
one that
has the
teleported,
things.
right?
This no, this is the one that teleported. The one in front of all of the coins and whatnot is the one that has the two objects on it.
Easy. And it's got. There were the items on the. Sorry, there are noises going on in the background. It's distracting me.
That's fine.
There's the
Push my
item on the
webcam
pedestal in front of the treasure pool, right?
Yes, there are two items.
On the same pedestal.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see one is placed like in the center, like it's designed to be there. But next to it, you see another one as if it is placed like an accessory to the first.
Yeah.
Also, I've written down last session a couple of basic things about liches, like that they need soul. I'm trying to remember if was that information that Emmy would know or that was communicated to us, or is that just me making notes? Because I think Alexia told us that Aurelian is a lich.
Yeah, I believe Alexia mentioned that. If not, look surprised now, so I know to stop talking.
No, we knew that. We knew that.
Yeah. I think Alexia mentioned that she knew that Aurelian is a lich. I don't remember what else she said, so I will hold off and let us.
So, from what I
back up on that
remember,
information.
she said that Aurelian was a lich. The frill is down here, and we needed to take it or break it. Didn't specify exactly what we needed to do with it. Just that it's here. The source of all power.
The phylactery.
The Poblurufluf.
Phylactery.
Yeah, that one. Is down here, and that we needed to do something with it.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool. Because that's where my brain was going.
But I'm fairly sure that we knew that the two
Gotcha.
items on that pedestal, one of them being the phylactery, the other one was something else that was important. Just don't remember what it was.
I didn't think we haven't gotten close enough to have like a look yet, because I
Yeah.
think we snuck forward a little bit and the dragon went like, and we went, oh, and stopped.
Yeah. You mean we don't want to just, use its tongue as a welcome mat and just run straight in?
Thanks.
That's how it dies. We just like run down its throat and choke it to death from
Yeah.
the inside.
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense that its throat is big enough for the three of you to be side by side.
Do the toothpick thing, just like
Right.
Yeah.
stick it in there.
Like
and,
Throwing a hot dog down a hallway. It's just not.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I would like to have a look. I think we're all kind of in agreement that we would like to approach in a way that
Yeah.
doesn't wake him up.
Mhm.
Sure. So why don't I go ahead and get the stealth checks from the three of you?
Yeah, actually,
approach.
along that vein, if all three of us start creeping at the same time, I might kind of just like put my arm on Ori and just kind of like gesture to the whole getup she's got going
The
on.
plate armor.
Like, maybe stay here.
I mean, if we're going to be signaling at each other, I would be looking at Eminence, because Eminence actually has an escape. And we did discuss this at the end of the last episode. Remember, we were talking about you could teleport in, but you can't teleport out.
Eh?
We'll Misty step in.
I can Misty Step, yeah, but I have to be able to see it, and it's like 30 feet max. So I can get a head start, but in the context of how big this thing is, it's not really an escape.
Yeah, but it's quicker than running. So.
All I have to do is be quicker than one of you. So
Hey, that's
Yeah.
my joke. Nah, joking.
Oriana will be like, this is a good idea with my very, very jingle jangle disadvantage on stealth. So she'll hold up, and I don't want to necessarily prepare an action, but like keep watch. Make sure nothing wrong is going on.
I mean, I also might just look again to Eminence, because she's not getting the point. Also, Mel just decided that keeping watch
Goodbye.
actually meant to leave the call.
Yeah.
be over here.
My Discord just died.
Kaboom.
It just turned off and then immediately restarted. I'm here.
We thought you were just keeping watch. Method acting. It's just
Okay.
Committing to the beat.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again. It happened like once a couple of weeks ago, but it doesn't seem to be a regular thing. So hopefully I'm here.
Mhm.
hopefully.
That's amazing.
I can distract it if you want to run in.
We don't want to wake it up.
I think let's operate on the assumption that it's staying asleep.
Yes, but
For now.
one of us going in there is better than two of us. If I stay back here, you get closer. It wakes up. I run in and go and get it to look at me. Okay.
All right. If it wakes up.
If it wakes up.
Okay.
We are
And I'll
truly being fucking those two little minions from Hercules right now. You mean if
Yeah.
it wakes up?
Yeah, I'll start creeping, trying to not disturb any coins under my feet.
And I will watch the Leviathan's face and wait for the moment that it potentially wakes up.
Okay. Yeah, slowly you creep forward. And if I remember right, you have hooves, right?
Yeah. I'm so
You're-
regretting that one punchline that I was like, yeah, I've got hooves. Isn't that funny?
For one joke. Yeah, you can have regular feet. Do you want regular feet?
No, I want hoops.
Far too late now.
Yeah, I know.
I can't just pick and choose.
Aesthetics are more
Committed to the
important than
bit.
mechanics.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Feet today,
Yeah,
hoops
you
tomorrow.
exactly. You slowly creep your way forwards towards the pedestal. 15 feet, 10 feet away, 5 feet away, up until you're right up next to it, and you are now by proxy, you're maybe 5 feet away from the bottom jaw of this massive worm. The scales themselves are the size of dinner plates. They're massive, interlocking, crimson red scales leading all the way across. And even in the dark, you can see that as it takes in a sort of rumbling breath underneath the scales, almost like in between the interlocking plates, there's this subtle red glow that seems to inflame like a fire getting a gust of wind. And as it exhales, the glow seems to fade a little bit. And you're just looking at this massive wall of interlocking crimson plates. In front of you, however, is this pedestal. Uh, you can see there is a single glass sort of dome over the top of it, Beauty and the Beast style, but instead of a rose in the center, you see what looks like almost like a jeweler cutting their first gem. It's sort of this rough hewn gem in the center of it. The edges aren't clean or even, they're a bit jagged and sharp here and there, but very, very clearly you can sense just being in close proximity to this gem that there's some innate magical property about it. To the side of the gem, you see also on the pedestal underneath this sort of glass case, uh, slate gray and black rock, um, sort of smooth-ish around the edges, but the back is a little faceted, as if it has been attempted to be cut a couple of times, but then gave up halfway. And you recognize about a baseball-sized moon rock, sky rock.
Fucking
Um,
sky rocks.
Directly beneath those two rocks, just because you're sort of looking down at this pedestal from above, you can see script, um, silver, gold, and platinum lettering in circular weaving patterns across this pedestal. And as you look at it, the script slowly rotates and seems to stop.
Hmm.
And then about 5 seconds later, it rotates once again,
Oh.
like a grandfather clock winding down.
Can I read the script? Can I recognize at least even what language it's in?
Yeah. So I tell you what, I'll have you make a history check first.
Yeah. The 12.
12. You have seen this script before. Not this exact script, but you have seen script very similar to it in some of the paperwork that you've pulled from the office, from the portable hole. Um, the journal seemed to have been exploring the idea of chronomancy, of time magic. This seems to be some sort of completed spell or ritual, specifically involving chronomancy, involving time magic. Um, as you're continuing to watch and like trying to piece together and read the script, it rotates one more time. Go ahead and make me an intelligence or arcana check.
Am I intelligent?
I asked myself that.
If you have to ask. They're both +2, so cool. Let's just make an intelligence. Why not?
Sure.
That's the third 12 I've rolled today.
Another 12.
Mm.
Um, Judging by the way that it seems to be like rotating, it very clearly seems to be like a clock. It's like wound. It's doing something,
Huh.
but just looking at it, it doesn't seem quite right. Um, like something is not correct about it. Uh, it's difficult to say exactly what it is with just a 12. Um, but as you watch the inner ring like tries to rotate and you see the outer ring tries to rotate with it and then catches as if there's like a hook or something or the gearing has slipped and the inner ring almost seems to like slide past it and the outer ring falls back.
Ah, okay. So, based on that, does it seem fairly clear that even though there's obviously magic at work, the actual mechanism that is turning this script is mechanical in nature? Like it's an actual physical
No,
object that is twisting? Or,
it
okay.
is not a physical object. It is a physical portrayal of a magical phenomena.
Yeah.
As you look at it, the stone pedestal is like a slightly raised circular disc on top of a flat circular disc.
Okay.
And the script is like embedded into it and rotating with its own magical properties.
I'm debating whether I try interacting with it in any way or if I just go back and relay this to the group.
If you
What
want, you can make a perception check.
yeah, sure. Let's perceive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get a perception check.
18.
18. 18 is good. Not 5 feet from where you're standing to the left, to your left, is the massive crimson jaw of this beast. But even with this like gold, silver, and platinum filigree script and these two objects underneath the pedestal, your eyes can't help but wander to the enormous pile of loot across from you. And you see coins from all time and destination, denominations and languages you don't even recognize. You see beautiful paintings, you see clothing. A chest is half open with these fine silk, what look like dresses, just haphazardly stashed in. You see swords and maces, rods. You see there is this massive belt that seems to have like this black horn as a buckle. You see uh, gems of all different sizes and shapes and statues. It's hard not to ogle at the pure monetary wealth in front of you. With an 18 at just a guess, glimpsing the size of this pile of gold rising up to head height and disappearing under the shoulder of this beast, at least 250,000 gold that you can see worth
Wow.
of stuff.
Okay. Stuff that is obviously of different eras. Is
Yeah,
any
from
of
all
it,
over.
yeah, from all over, time and space and whatever, is any of it visibly aged? Like the old stuff looks old, or does it all look new or preserved?
It does look like it's in good condition. There's
Mm.
not a layer of dust. There's no like decay or rot. Like there are paintings just inside of this mountain of gold, and the frames have not decayed. The ink still is vibrant and fresh. Um, you get the sense looking at this that if you had to guess, most of the objects look like they had been placed there yesterday. Or more specifically, there yesterday.
Yeah. God, as much as I want to try to interact with the pedestal, I think Ori will have some more useful spells in that regard. So I'm going to creep back to the other girls. Um, so this, well, this may sound crazy, but I get the impression that whatever is creating this time loop, it's not working properly. I don't think this is supposed to be a time loop. I think it's broken.
I guess that makes sense.
I
It's
mean,
been here forever and ever. Probably intended to stay here forever and ever.
but he's managed to do this sort of thing before. I don't know. Everything that was there, all of the paintings and the gold, it all looks brand new. It doesn't. And it's from all different times. I don't think this is. I think he has managed to travel through time. I just don't know why it's broken now. I don't think this is the first time he's done this.
We have reason to believe it's been quite a few years, right? Since this creature's been here. Maybe this has happened before.
Any of you can make a nature or history or religion check relating to the creature.
All I'm very bad at.
You could, yeah, I guess, yeah, that would be nature, not survival.
No, it's all good. It's in character for me to not know things, so.
Yeah,
I can still roll. Maybe I know something.
I got an 11 on a religion check.
Okay.
I got a 23 on history.
Wow.
And I went with nature, and I got a 13. I got better than Eminence.
I know, and I have a +6 on religion.
Oh my god!
Yes.
I have a negative
really
1.
bad roll.
I still love that the cleric has a +1 and the warlock has a +.
It seems to be like a recurring theme that we should be each other's class.
Yeah.
Like we're both
So
just
regular.
statted wrong. It's great.
So the two of you looking up at this massive creature, you know that obviously dragons hoard treasure. As they get older, they get bigger and bigger. Most dragons usually die somewhere between 500 and 1,000 years old, depending on whether they're adult or ancient. You have heard stories. Yeah, I think that's what you know. Oriana, with a 23, you know specifically that dragons become adults somewhere between 100 and 300 years old, depending on how much of a horde they're able to gather. You know that they become ancient dragons when they are usually around 800 years old. And that has to do also with how much gold they manage to hoard. This creature in front of you is significantly larger than an ancient dragon. This looks like something that you've heard of. And these are things that are very, very infrequent in the cosmos called great worms. It is the classification above ancient. In all of recorded history, there are maybe less than 10. And every single time one of them is talked about, it has its own several history books worth of lessons that you can learn from this beast because it is so old and so powerful. You know that technically, if dragons keep amassing gold and aren't killed by something else, they can live forever. But that is very, very difficult to do because of selective pressure. And of course, the bigger they get, the more of a horde they need to sustain themselves. So for a creature to reach this size, it must have taken an unimaginably long amount of time. easily 1,500, 2,000 years worth of aging and gathering strength. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. In terms of monetary worth, ancient dragons usually have hordes of around 200,000 gold. For something to be this big, it would be several times larger than that. Just for like time frame purposes.
If I was that old, I would want to be asleep all the time too. Yeah, I'll quietly pass that on. Not that I think it's massively relevant to like fixing the broken magic, but just like could be broken because it has been forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah, no, that is relevant because it could just be that the dragon has been amassing this hoard for such a long time, and the hoard is not decaying with age because of the broken magic.
We also know that this isn't in character. We also know that the time loop has only been happening theoretically for a couple of months because people have stayed in Ridden's Dredge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we were originally talking about was that Aurelian might have tried this before. This thing has been here for ages, or at least it's been alive for ages. We don't know necessarily if it's been here. We think it's been here. We've decided it's been here because we decided at the end of the last episode, we were like, we need to set it free, not deciding to actually ask if it wanted to be free. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we did have that conversation because Oriana speaks Draconic.
Yes.
Have a good old chat with it. Okay, this is a question I may not want to be asking, but do we think that Aurelian has put the phylactery here because it's protected, or could he actually be trying to use this creature somehow, like harness its? I mean, a soul that old must be incredibly powerful.
Or I wonder if the proximity of wow, that's a word I don't think Natalie would use. Is it just
Closeness.
the proximity of the item to the thing that makes time go weird to someone running around killing people in a time loop? Do they have anything to do with each other? Because isn't that what Alexia told us before? That she was killing people to fuel this. Is that how it works?
No, Alexia specifically said, this was back when she couldn't speak, but I asked her, someone or something is controlling you? It was a yes. Did you need to kill people to like maintain what was going on? Was a no.
Yeah, but it
I
wasn't
think we
to what was going on, though. She did say that she was killing people to fuel the effects of what we now know is Aurelian being a lich. She didn't need to kill people to keep the time loop going, but she was killing people to fuel the lich shit.
factory.
So she's behind you. She's 30 feet away.
I will say this. No, I won't say it loudly because then
We're
the
just so
creature's
used
in
to
front
her
of
not
us.
talking that we forget that she can just pipe up at any time.
We'll just waggle a finger and just be like, come in.
She kind of hesitates a moment and very tentatively stealths her way forward. That's cocked. Okay. Yeah, she creeps forward. Yes.
You were killing people to fuel the Lich, correct?
What? No.
See, I told you. I'm.
Hey, it was a good assumption.
It was a good
Assuming.
assumption, assuming that she's not just completely mad.
Hey.
I'm only half mad.
Good for you. Why were you killing people?
Sometimes the itch just got too strong.
Ah, yes, you have the serial killer gene. Hmm. That's from a show, isn't it?
Yup, that's from Riverdale.
Ah.
I like the implication that Natalie understands genetics.
I'm really sorry. It's been so long since we've played. I'm trying really hard to not just interject with random shit, but it's
So
really
funnily enough,
hard.
the orc tribes of the mountains to the north are very, very big on genetic lineage.
Yeah, they've been growing peas and investigating them.
It's
Yeah.
we discovered a lot
They're-
with all of our time next to the Dale River. It's very important.
Famous orc,
Yeah.
Mendel.
They're the reason that carrots are orange now. Selective breeding.
Ah, yes. GMOs for your
Yeah.
bloody
They actually
vegetables.
came up with the idea of Frenzork squares.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Makes
No,
sense.
they were Pundork squares.
Punok squares, yeah.
Or-
Orc
Yeah.
squares.
Mm.
Yeah.
What we did is we
Anyways.
drew out some lines in the sand and then we put them in a square and then we got them to kill each other and whoever lived was the dominant one.
That's the Tom machine. That's so good. That's canon.
Also, Hannah just squeaked. This is a very serious moment and
Not the DM. Good job.
Like pundit squares, but with murder. Love it.
Okay.
Yes. No, I was fine, and then business.
I don't suppose you've thought, could the Lich be making you want to do the murder?
No, I wanted to do that before I came here. That's why I
Cool.
came here.
That's why? Surely there are better places to go if you wanted to kill a bunch. Anyway, this is getting off
I
topic.
didn't come here because I wanted to kill people. I came here because I wanted help.
therapy might have been a good option. I don't know.
Wait,
That
help.
She was in a hospital.
Don't think they have therapy there somehow. Don't think Quinn was much of a therapist.
How did you know any of this was going on before you got here? We didn't.
My organization knew of Aurelian. We keep
Right.
track of high-value individuals and threats in the region.
That's right. The organization you've yet to tell us the name of.
Yes.
Don't suppose I can convince you to do that.
Does it start with a T?
It depends how good you are at convincing.
I mean, I did stab you once.
You did.
She seems almost like that's a bonding moment between the two of them. Like, that good old time.
I mean, to be fair, she did smile at you basically every time that you ran into her trying to scream bloody murder. So
I know.
it is your bonding
She's
moment.
so creepy.
Can I have my dagger back?
No.
No.
It helps me keep things together.
You also just said that you go around killing people. I won't be giving
Yeah,
you
you
your
get
dagger back.
urges that you can't
I-
control.
Have the urge to. The dagger helps me to control them.
The dagger helps you control the urge to kill
feels
people.
like that's not gonna work. We would feel
Okay.
more comfortable if you didn't have it. If you do
Which
decide,
one of us has the dagger right now?
I have it still, I'm pretty sure. No one took it from me, so I took it with me when I came over the other side.
So if I remember right, you examined that dagger a little bit, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you remember what it's made of?
It's got like star shit in it. Star shit is my colloquial way of referring to the rock.
Yeah. Starship.
And it severed the connection with the weave, so I don't trust it in anyone's hands but mine. And I think everyone else in the party should only trust it in their own hands. Very important. Only ever rely on yourself. But more importantly, we would feel much more comfortable if you were not armed with this.
I understand.
But we are not monsters in any way, shape, or form. If you decide to stab us, we will simply restrain you. Until you
If that's
do
what you
not.
want to tell yourself.
I will tell myself that all day. Yeah, pleasant. Definitely not going to give a dagger back after that. All right. So have we decided how we're going to approach this then?
Ori, do you have any way
Alexia
of...
takes a step back to give you room so you can.
Right. And when Natalie and I were talking, is Ori a bit further away from us, or are we all together?
Pretty sure we're all
You
together.
came back to us, so
Yeah,
we should all
okay.
be together.
I would
Good,
say
because-
the three of you are probably like 15 feet away from the snout of this creature.
Cool. Because I want to ask Ori if she has any spells that might help us figure out what kind of, like, how the magic works, the sort of maybe field of influence it has. Like, if we touch the pedestal, is that a problem, or is it only affecting the things on the pedestal? You know, shit like that.
Is there an approach to just breaking it?
Yeah. Is there like a counter spell?
Or
Like
like
a
a
spell
dispel,
that
I
might-
guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
Dis your
Oh shit! I
spell.
do have to spell. I have to spell magic. What does the spell magic do though? I don't know if that does exactly what we want it to do.
Maybe not. Do we know what the connection is to the phylactery and the weird timey-wimey chronomancy stuff?
No.
Did we try just picking it up?
I just don't want you to pick it up and suddenly turn into like a husk or something awful.
Ah, just like Indiana Jones. I couldn't think of a
Yeah,
funny
very
name
Indiana
to
Jones vibes.
say for that.
Yeah.
We're only gonna find out one way, I guess.
That is a good point though. Like, why center this magic here on this? Is it meant to protect the object or do something else?
I still feel, I know that Alexia just said that she didn't kill people to fuel it, but it does seem awfully convenient that 2 weeks before she rocks up, 2 weeks after she rocks up, sorry, this all starts happening. And an enclosed space with someone who's known to murder people, while she may not be aware that she is doing something for someone else, I feel like she definitely is doing things for someone else. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's admitted to being half mad. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to distrust her judgment
It's
and her
not so
insight.
much that I distrust her, it's that I think someone's manipulated her.
Yes.
Put her in a room that's locked and just gone, here's a dagger, go for your life. This
Yes.
dagger has the same shit that thing does. There's no way they're not connected.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, darling. I would like to cast Detect Magic. I am, I think, how far away is it? Within 30 feet. We're within 30 feet. I would like to know what kind of magic is on the stuff on the pedestal. Shush. I don't know if Oriana got a chance to look at the Are you okay?
Jeez.
Got a chance to look at the knife earlier to see if there's any magic on it other than just being the rock. I'm so sorry.
It's
You
totally
can't hear her that much.
Oh, good.
It's only like an underlying whine underneath. You can't
Yeah.
tell, really.
Cool. And
If you need to like
auras
compare
and
the magic, I will just keep the knife out.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm wanting to do with Natalie being
So-
like, hey, maybe it's the same thing.
Yes. So using detect magic, you get a number of things. There are the magical objects on your person, magical objects on the persons of your party. You see, like, from here, even though it's like dark, with detect magic, you can see the chronomantic aura from this pedestal, like clear as day on top of the pedestal, and it seems to like twist down into some massive glowing thing built into the ground, almost like the roots of a tree spreading out and out to the edge of your detect magic vision. You get a like blinding sense, just a volume of magic, easily 8th, 9th level spell, like huge wizard level shit. In addition, you get just this singular black sphere of necromantic magic coming from the sort of rough cut crystal that is very clearly the phylactery. You get just a slight magical aura from the great worm itself, like the beast itself is just somewhat magical. The behind the beast, a gem in the pile is magical. There's a cape, there's an amulet, there's what looks like a pot. There's a small pouch, there's a rod, there's a monocle, there's a flask, there's a mace, there's a belt, there's a whole bunch of just magic shit. Just in the pile. Lastly, you turn your focus to the skyrock, the moon rock, the skyrock, both under the pedestal and in the blade that Natalie has. And those are, it's kind of it's kind of weird to look at. It's not that they have magic in and of themselves, but they stand out specifically because of their lack of magic. It's like if everything is generating light because everything is somewhat innately magical, those are just flat monochrome regular vision black. Both of the rocks have the same, like, not magic at all. The one thing that you can tell looking is the blade that Natalie has, that aura seems to have been worked into a point for the blade of the dagger. So it is almost as if a craftsman knew what they were looking at and deliberately honed an edge to cut magic.
So the I'm just trying to get this straight because I wrote my notes not in any order. Just right word. The the chronomantic magic is connected to the
Oh, yeah.
under.
Make a either investigation or arcana or gosh, what else would that be? Yeah, investigation or arcana, I think.
Okay. Both of those are only a
Looking
+1 for me, so I'm doing a little like dicey dance, willing it to be nice to me.
heat it up, heat it up.
This is one of my good metal dice. So
Ooh.
put it in the. Oh, that's not fantastic. That's a 12 plus 1. That's a 13 on
13.
either of them, but I'll pick Arcana in
Sure,
case.
arcana. So specifically looking at the magic for the chronomantic sort of script, you again sort of see like the top of the script inlay looks almost like a control panel as far as you can tell, and it seems to sort of weave into the ground like the um, uh, what is it, like the core of a tree, and spreads out into the ground like the roots. Um, very, very clearly looking at it, there is an absence of chronomantic magic directly underneath the skyrock. It's almost as if you were looking at the life of a tree, like the magic life aura of a tree, if someone just left a hot coal on one of the branches on the top, and slowly that branch like withered and died. Um, Very clearly, you can see the rest of the aura is just clean and clear and well designed, but right up on like the control panel where that script is, there's just this hot coal burning into the pattern.
Better move that. Hey. Um, I'm gonna pass that on using words like skyrock specifically because Natalie likes the words skyrock.
Starry shit.
Just the space shit.
Yep.
About how like everything is connected and it kind of looks like a tree, but the space rock is like murdering the tree.
Yeah, it's not enough to like kill it completely, but it's enough to fuck it up.
Yeah, like when your light switch is just like not quite working and sometimes it just goes.
I mean, I was just
we're
literally
like-
thinking of a tree that has like a parasite on it.
Oh, well,
But-
that makes sense. And since we as the party did deal with a tree with a parasite earlier, that would, make sense.
Yeah.
I just want to say that allegory was not on purpose, but happy going.
I mean, to be fair, it is exactly the same rock doing exactly the same thing.
It is, I know.
So I
That's
guess
why
it
I'm like,
works
oh,
really
well.
well.
Shit, I'm retreading old territory.
No. But I mean, it
No,
helps us
it's on purpose.
clarify, which is great.
So I think the impression that I have got from this is that we should technically be able to remove the phylactery as long as we don't move the other stuff.
But question,
Mhm.
we take the phylactery. That doesn't help all the people still stuck on the other side.
One problem at a time.
Also, I hate to bring this up, but we take the phylactery, we draw the attention of a very powerful lich. How do we intend to kill him?
Well,
How much
technically
do we
he's
know
already
about
dead.
how much a phylactery works? Is this a thing that I could? I mean, I don't have really a high enough level spell slots to just dispel magic, but I'm pretty sure you can roll it instead of having it
Yes.
end automatically, which would be pretty hard because it my checking has gone. It's a high level spell, but would I know if that's a way that you can yeet a lich from existence?
Yeah, so I can have the two of you make history, arcana, religion checks, and I actually think that the two of you would have advantage because of your upbringing in hell.
Advantage or not, I'm not
Um,
using that die.
Alrighty, I'm gonna make. Oh, sorry. Did you say history, arcana, or religion?
yeah.
Nice.
This is a nat 1, but the other one is a 15.
Yeah, my first
Hey.
one was a 4, but my next one was a 20. Not a nat 20. Dirty
Um,
20.
Yeah, I will go with history on that to make mine a dirty 20 as well.
Yes. Yeah. So you know that when a lich dies within a certain period of time, they just reappear next to their phylactery. Like the physical body that they used to have crumbles away and dissolves, and uh, they just reappear next to their phylactery. That's their like immortality. Um, you know that phylacteries can be destroyed, but it is not an easy thing. Um, it often requires a special ritual item or weapon, and every phylactery is unique. Discovering the key to a phylactery involves understanding the necromancy that made it. And from what the two of you know with a 20, is your dear old pop had a phase
He's
where
had
he
so
was
many of those.
interested. He has. He's
Starting to think dear old Pop had undiagnosed ADHD.
he had a lot
So
going
many
on.
hobbies.
I've studied his character a lot. He uh he had a phase where he studied necromancy and wanted to see if there was a way that he could harness undeath. However, undeath is the power of the abyss, not the nine hells. Specifically, Orcus currently claims dominion over necromancy. So your dad's way of dealing with that was he actually had two liches that he kept, studied, and then killed, waited for them to regenerate, and then they would pop back into existence and he would study them again and then kill them. You don't think he ever got rid of those phylacteries? You think he still has them somewhere in his castle? But
Every couple of months, he just kills someone.
more like every 2 weeks.
Ah. So every couple of months, because he sends someone else to do it.
Yes. He in all probability he might have forgotten that they're there.
That's not a terrible. Ori, what if remember the phylacteries that Dad had for a while? What if we just kind of gave this one to him? It takes the problem off our hands. He clearly has the means to control them. And we
How
call
long
it a
ago was
Father's
this
Day
phase of
gift.
his? Is this something we think that
He's
he'd still care about?
he's gone through a lot. It's been a couple of years.
I mean, a gift
Yeah.
is a gift, surely.
I mean, there really is no harm in asking.
Bring.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah. Do we have a means of contacting Dad?
I
You know that there have been implicit threats of like, if you ever need me, I will come, I'll be there. And that's often usually followed by something terrifying like, I'm always watching.
I was going to say, I love that that's a threat.
yeah.
If you ever need me, I'll be there.
I should
If
be
you
able
don't
to cast
need
sending
me,
to just be like,
I
hi.
will also be there.
Mm.
But because we're on a
You
different plane of existence, it may fail.
yes, you know that usually if you like had to have him there, you could probably get at the very least to Lenelat, his counselor, to you pretty quickly because he is a plane hopper.
I mean, perhaps this is a problem we don't need to deal with ourselves.
If we don't phrase this right, though, we're going to owe him.
You're always on about owing him. He's our father, like.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he just love you unconditionally? Something like that.
Oh, sweetie.
Do you say that out
No.
loud?
I didn't know my dad, so I don't think I can talk.
Oof, daddy issues, the podcast.
I mean, personally, I'm fine with owing him. Kind of already do.
Yes, I'm aware, and I'd rather you not owe him
Oh,
more.
all right. I'll just rescind all of my abilities. I'll
No, I'm not
be
saying that. I can see your puppy in the background.
yeah,
Wait,
just being very insistent.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that perhaps this one should be on me. Unpleasantness, that's probably going to turn out to be.
I think you just want the credit for giving him a gift. I mean, this was my idea. How often does someone give you a phylactery?
Potentially 2 previous times. Okay, go for it.
Like
I wouldn't want to steal your thunder.
right now?
How disruptive is someone popping in from another plane? Do we think it would wake up the
I
Leviathan?
think it would wake up a
Oh, you-
Leviathan.
So you know that Telenelat he's a smooth operator.
Yeah.
He goes when and where he likes. He can plane hop with relative ease. Judging on how easy it was for him to pop by the golden tankard, he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Ah, there you are." It would be as easy as just like a.
And what's the deal with Telenelat? Is it like a Beetlejuice situation? Do I just say his name?
So Telenelat is an Aaron yes. Let's see.
I mean, I can always just send him a
Oh, no,
sending
no. Am
and
I
So
say
thinking-
Eminence wants to
if
see
we
you.
don't want
I'm
him,
thinking
he's
of
an error.
Ireleth. I'm sorry, I got that name wrong. That's Ireleth. Ireleth was the hoity-toity. Yeah.
Speak to my house.
I've got all of my devil names written down. Yeah. Say his name.
Okay, before we actually get them involved, should we take it or leave it on the pedestal for him to take?
If we get him closer, we can run out before he does. Because he can just pop out, is what I mean.
He's not the kind of person that you want playing the sacrificial lamb.
I'm not sacrificing. Just purely from a mechanical standpoint, much more mobile than we are.
We're
He can also move us.
all on board with this then. We're calling Dad.
I still don't know how this fixes the time loop.
It doesn't fix the time loop. It fixes one of two problems that we're having.
Yeah, but then
Plus,
what happens from there? Like, I feel like we should be hitting both of these birds at the same time.
well, potentially we are hitting both of these birds at the same time. Quite a turn of phrase. um, potentially we are. I mean, we're handing over a lich to a demon. The lich is responsible for the time loop. If you want to make the time loop stop, torture the
Yeah,
lich.
but it's not like the time loop is tied to the lich, right? They cast it.
Mm,
It's not just like, if I die, it all dies. They're
I
not.
don't know that.
We don't know that it won't either.
Yes, but I'm saying we could incentivize him to end the spell
But we're just sending him
painfully.
to hell.
Quite the incentive, I hear, for most people.
I just want to have my objection noted in future for when this all goes ass up.
Noted.
But you have the only plan we have so far, so I'm going to trust your judgment.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. If we had a better plan, we could take yours, but
I did say smash it. I think that's a pretty good plan.
I think that's very much not a very good plan. So, Eminence.
Okay. I'm just gonna close my eyes and say,
There's no place like home.
yeah, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Lenolats,
Confidence.
I know you can hear me. Could use your help.
You hear a voice as if directly behind your left shoulder say, I thought you didn't like owing me.
I wouldn't owe you. You would be helping us with a gift. And I'm offering you a share of the credits.
As you say that, you feel the voice kind of drift around behind your other shoulder, in your right ear this time. Credit. Do you think I'd need more of that? More responsibility towards a dear old dad?
Oh, you're pretty good at being his bitch already.
Ah, there she is. And stepping out behind you, as if he was already there the entire time, in the same black suit, black button up, black tie, black cufflinks, hair sort of sleeked back. Talinelat steps out. It is good to see you two, sisters.
As a whole. So, we found a great worm, but that's irrelevant. We also found a lich and its phylactery, and you know how
Okay.
Dad likes liches.
I believe he grew out of that phase, though I'm sure he would appreciate your notification of this. Why have you called me here? To show me what you found? Do you want to give him the dragon? I think we'll have to open up a new floor in the castle.
Oh, I'm gonna kind of look at Ori and Natalie like he could take the dragon.
I'm just going to slap my forehead and just put my hand over my eyes and just shake my head.
I don't think even Dad wants this.
I was thinking the phylactery for now. It belongs to a very annoying lich. There's also kind of a time loop situation going on here, and I was thinking perhaps if we take the phylactery, that might solve that somehow. I'm unclear on the details.
It seems like you haven't quite figured everything out, but I would be happy to assist you in this situation, Eminence. If you would just be so kind as to, and with a very gentle motion, sort of opens his hand, and beautiful vellum parchment just unrolls out of nowhere. And you can see very fine script written in abyssal, ending with a single blank line at the bottom. You know how this works.
I know how this works with my father. You're not my father. You're not my patron. I don't know who you think you are exactly. I'm
I'm
offering you.
something who can give you something, but must also get something.
I'm not
I
actually
can
asking for anything
solve
from you.
this little problem for you, but I need something in return.
Are you saying you can end the time loop?
He seems to take a moment and really survey the situation. Um, Make an insight check.
Can I also do that? Since I would be
Yes.
watching this very closely.
Yeah.
So mine's a 14.
Okay.
Oh. You know, I'm trying to watch really closely. What's my insight? Is a 10.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that closely.
Yeah. From what you've seen, he's popped up. You basically just called him and then said, "Hey, we've got a thing. Can you do a thing?" And no devil does anything for free. You know that every favor comes with a counter favor on the backside. He hasn't even looked around the room up until this point. He has just been gauging your level of investment in calling him, because calling him is a big deal. So he's just been like gauging you, and only now he begins to look around the situation and actually take in what is going on. You see his eyes kind of go over to the pedestal, and he looks up at the dragon, and for a moment his eyes sort of flash with like a crimson as you see some magical effect, and oh, I can certainly solve this. Solve the time loop, you said. That's what you asked for.
Solve the time loop in a way that restores everything to the way it was before. We get out, the other people get out
Alive.
alive.
His smile kind of grows a little bit at that. Hmm. Alive might be more difficult. And he kind of closes his hand, and the vellum parchment just fizzles and disappears. And casually, not even stealthing at all, just crisp black leather boots splashing through the ankle high water, walks over to the pedestal and sort of puts his hand on his chin as he. Alive is a bit more difficult to accomplish. It's certainly doable. But I think for you specifically, I might be able to come to an arrangement. I think you have been kind to me in the past, and on my name, I'll give you this one for free.
Insight checking whatever the fuck is going on right now.
Absolutely.
Because, like, devils don't do shit for free. Oh, I thought that was a nat 1. It was a 7 minus 1. 6.
Mhm.
God. I didn't even know if I want to try that again. I feel like Eminence has got this. Oh no.
Natalie, you can also insight check if you want.
Thank you.
Watching this whole conversation, you've
Ah.
met Tolenalat before. You've
I
And you don't like him.
Insight checks. Oh, it's wisdom,
Uh-huh.
actually. Oh. 10.
Is that
So-
good?
what did everyone get?
16.
Again, 10.
16, 10, and Ori?
And
Or sorry, Emmy?
6.
It's not the session if I don't get it mixed up at least once. 6. Yeah. Emmy, as far as you can tell, I mean, you have known him for a while, since you were little. Emmy, on the other hand,
Sorry.
fuck.
It's okay. You're
Ori, on the other
overthinking it
hand.
now.
I know. I'm getting in my own head. Something has changed. Something about his understanding of the situation has changed.
I'm kind of at this point looking at Ori and Natalie because this sounds like a good deal to me. I just wanted to hand over the phylactery, but he said he could fix the whole time loop. And like, should we?
I don't trust him for as far as I can throw him. I am literally making a face that says, any decision you make is on you.
I hope this doesn't come across as rude, but I don't think you've ever done anything for free. Ever.
What gives you that impression, dear Oriana?
I have known you literally my entire life.
He takes a deep breath and takes a step away from the pedestal. It's good to see that we've got an actual player at the table today.
Excuse me?
And he sort of straightens up, cricks his neck. I will be taking the phylactery and the stone. You will not be stopping me. In exchange, I will not wake the worm. Does that sound fair?
Whoa, okay, wait. What happened to the time loop situation? Helping us?
Taking the stone
I
should
think
time loop.
that went out the window.
I'm kind of looking at Ori like, why do you always have to do this?
I didn't do anything.
Technically, you did this.
No,
You
in
brought
Emi's
him
mind,
here.
it's 100% Oriana's fault. She was a bitch, and now all of a sudden he's being mean.
No!
In spite of 6.
I would like you to know that it has already been decided anything that happens right now is your fault.
And what will you do with them?
Exactly what you asked. Give them to Lord Meph.
Who calls their lord by a nickname? It's incredibly rude.
Was that out loud?
Yes. I don't think Natalie has any tact in her body.
He is completely ignoring you. All of his focus is bent on Oriana at this moment.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, I think I'll be whispering this in the
Mhm.
behind the girl's ears. I don't really care either if he hears me. He's going to do this regardless of what we want. He obviously wants something. Don't have any idea what. 10 insight. What if we just wake it up?
How is that going to help anything?
Well, just I'm not seeing a lot of good in this situation, and he clearly knows that he has the upper edge right now.
So let's make it worse, and then he takes it anyway and leaves.
How do we know that? There has to be
Because
a reason.
he has literally no reason to
He
stay.
didn't wake it up.
Also, he can definitely hear us. Just FYI, he heard me from another plane of existence.
Cool. He can listen all he likes. Your
We are
suit's
not
cheap.
Waking up the Leviathan.
This suit is worth more than your entire lineage.
Mate, my lineage isn't worth much to you.
It isn't worth much to anyone, dear.
Oh, so hurt. Oh, the
Okay,
chains are broken to my family.
Natalie.
Oh, I'm so wounded. Let me lie on the ground and revel in this
Natalie.
insult.
I've seen better actors in a soccer game. Are we doing
I
this?
never claimed to be an actor. I just can see that
Natalie.
you're trying to abuse my friends.
I mean, this is actually fairly par for the course. There, as far as I'm concerned, there is no stopping him. I don't want to wake up the Leviathan.
I've never known you to back down from a fight, Oriana.
It wouldn't
If
be a
you're
fight.
trying to goad me into coming around to your point of view, it won't work.
Thought I knew you better.
There are fights that you can win, and there are fights that you can't win. And dying to prove a point is not on my list of things to do ever.
Thought I knew you better.
Okay, I think we've all lost sight of the fact that I'm the one who orchestrated this. This was my idea. He's executing my idea, and everything's going to work out fine.
No, it's not. But you're the
Is
boss.
this not what we wanted?
No, actually.
He's taking the phylactery away. He's solving the time loop. He's told us he's not going to wake the Leviathan. I see this as a win.
I don't imagine that the word of this. I don't actually remember what kind of creature it is. Don't imagine that words mean much without a shiny signature, but maybe I'm being too prickly.
As you say that, Chocolatiers says, "You're absolutely right. What are we if we aren't bound by contract?" And slowly he loosens his tie and begins to unbutton the top of his shirt
Mate, it's not
until a
the
couple of buttons are
time.
down. And he
Needed
pulls,
room, mate.
he pulls down, just showing the upper side of his chest. And with his nail, draws a line across his upper breast.
Weird flex, but okay.
Cross my heart and hope to die.
I sign on my name and immortal soul that what I said to you was true.
See, I know I'm not smart.
I will take
though.
the stones and not wake the beast.
That is kind of a big deal, Natalie.
Take the stones and not wake them. That says nothing about the people.
Yes, also don't fix the time loop, don't kill anyone in the time loop.
The ones inside of the time loop will be released when the spell is resolved. The ones
Hey.
inside of the phylactery will be consumed.
Well, yeah, we can't do anything
When
about
it is
dead
taken.
people. But You all speak contract. You two
I
speak
don't know what the
contract.
last word. I don't know. Oh, contract. I thought you said something slightly different, and I was like, I need a clarification
out.
on what you just called me.
Okay.
No,
So
contract.
he's basically he's agreeing that all of the people inside of the time loop who are still alive will be released from the time loop when
Yeah, but they don't have to
he's
be
done and gone.
alive when they're released from the time loop. But this is
He is agreeing that they will be alive. The ones who are inside of the phylactery that he's referring to, people who have already died, will be taken with the phylactery. He cannot get them out, or at least he's saying that he's taking them with him.
I don't believe him.
I think that's reasonable.
I know you don't know how these things work, but the whole like swearing on your name thing, it's pretty binding.
I understand that. The point I want to make, again, I am not that smart. There are ways for people to get around things. Don't make that fucking face. There are ways for people to get around things by using their shiny silvered words. And I don't want to end up being at the end of it just because I didn't say a particular phrase a particular kind of way.
So your argument is that you don't understand what's going on.
My argument is that I don't understand the outcome because it is so specific.
If it was less specific,
No, that makes
be
it
less
it
binding.
worse.
Exactly.
Yes.
I feel incredibly uncomfortable at this exchange. This man in front of us has just pulled down his shirt and crossed his chest and is saying words.
So
I'm
he
very
hasn't
confused.
signed it yet. He hasn't signed it yet. He's made the drawing to say, if this is something that you agree to, I will sign on my name. In the interest of transparency, there is currently one soul within the phylactery. A
One.
dispel magic would release it, and by the property of this time loop, when it resets, that body would be reformed. If you truly desire every life you can, there is a method for you to pursue that.
I mean, the way I see it, they had a chance, they died.
I know. They could have tried a little harder, right?
Get fucked.
What do you want, Natalie?
Hey, I can heckle.
The fucking peanuts gallery.
Personally, I'm quite comfortable sacrificing an already dead soul that we would not have saved ourselves regardless.
He's telling you that you
Oh.
can save it.
Well, we wouldn't have
with
known
the
about
use
it.
of dispel magic. Yeah.
Oriana doesn't really give a shit. She does have dispel magic and she could do this, but she's on the same track as Eminence. Like, well, they're already dead.
Wait,
Yeah, but they're not
if we just dispelled the
dead,
magic right
though,
now,
right?
if we just dispelled the magic right now, could you still take the phylactery?
Yes, dispelling the magic will not destroy the phylactery.
Oh, well then, sorry.
Dispelling the
Just-
magic temporarily disables the cage, keeping the soul trapped within inside it.
Yeah, but
Not the soul of the lich, but the soul of the person who died.
Okay,
recently.
okay. So for a moment I was like, hang on. We just go, let's dispel it, and then Aurelian comes out and he's like, hello, I'm here.
Hello there. Hello there.
General Kenobi. Do we have any other objections? Are we through arguing this?
Whose soul is in there? That's a question to everyone, I think.
I mean, we know quite a few people who've died recently.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. If it's ducks, I revolt.
Dark isn't dead.
How do
Duck's
you
alive.
know? How do you know?
one of the Koatoa.
Hey, we fed them. All right. We've just spent like 10 episodes with them. All right. Okay. We love them.
We love them idiot fish.
Yeah, Talanola turns and looks, and once again, you see his eyes sort of like flash red with that sort of magical pulse. And he looks back and humanoid touched by Fae.
Oh fuck, is it Aery? It's Aery. Fucking hell.
Aery's not dead.
Aery has been
No, Aery's
Sleeping.
upstairs.
Oh
Yeah.
good.
Aery's
Aery's
just having a nap.
Is this a twist that we didn't see coming?
Dun, dun, dun.
Touched by
I
Fae.
don't remember anyone being touched by Fae.
That they told us.
I mean, maybe they're already dead.
I am assuming.
It's Quinn.
Evelyn
No,
was
no.
Elvin.
Oh. Evelyn being the old lady that helped us?
No, Evelyn, Edmund, and
Oh, Evelyn was the
The
one that
adventurer.
Alexia cut her throat, right?
yes.
Yeah. At the end of that day.
Evelyn, Edmund, and Ethramal.
Well, hey, that answers your question about Alexia's. I'm going to turn to Alexia, who's been very quiet recently, and just be like, see, you were kind of being manipulated a bit.
Oops.
I love that she's just witnessed like a devil basically appear from Eminence's back. And it's just like,
She's half mad. Probably
shit.
doesn't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, she's probably just like, oh, another one of my hallucinations.
Actually, would you like to take her?
No.
Alexia looks at Talanolat and says, can you fix me? And Talanolat looks at her.
I think he's a worse therapist.
I think we can find something to suit you quite well.
Wait, no.
Why?
We did not agree to that. Ori,
I don't think we have any right to tell her what she can and can't do.
Ori.
She's a menace.
Though, if we were to
She's
send
not in
someone
her
with
right mind.
killing instincts to hell, I do feel like there are worse places.
Okay, how am I the bad guy in this
Well-
when you guys are the ones that want to send her to hell?
She's volunteering.
She's not. She asked a question.
And have we established that she would not be willing?
Okay, so what were the terms? You take the rock, you take the phylactery, you leave. You're swearing. What is he swearing?
So the specific conditions were take the rock, take the phylactery, don't wake the dragon, fix the time loop, everyone who's alive now stays alive. He mentioned that he isn't going to do anything for the person currently in the phylactery, but for the interest of transparency, he wanted you to know that it was possible to save them if that's something you're interested in. So far, he has had no arrangements with Alexia, but she seems to be thinking.
I say we save someone.
Are you saying please?
I didn't say please. It's the right thing to do. Evelyn was killed because we chose not to kill Alexia. Therefore, she died because of us. The least we can do is try to make her not die.
Hey, don't take blame for my killing.
And you don't want to send her
Exactly.
to hell.
You wouldn't take me to hell to fix me, right? And Tolenolite says, I suppose you could live out the rest of your life.
Now I'm judging him again. But I don't know. It's ultimately I am outnumbered. And I'm also not the one who controls the
I
big man.
will
I'm just the person with the popcorn.
start. You're throwing the popcorn.
Yes.
You're being very disruptive with your popcorn.
I have to channel a little bit of chaos sometimes.
I will. Look, I will do a dispel magic on the phylactery to attempt to get Evelyn out.
Okay.
After, I'm going to question Buddy about whether or not he knows, or would I know if doing that would attract the attention of the Lich, and do I know if the attention is, drawn, would yeeting the phylactery away take him to the other plane of existence, or would we have to kill him first before he goes back to where his phylactery is?
It does not appear that the Lich, from my observation of this phylactery, it does not appear that the Lich is currently alive.
Oh,
He's on his recharge time, baby.
So he could reappear like anytime.
Usually within 10 days of his death, yes.
1d10, in fact.
Okay. Well, that simplifies matters. He will reappear wherever the phylactery is. If the phylactery is in hell, then, well,
Well,
I will grab the phylactery and hopefully this doesn't fuck us over, but I think I need to be
so it is under
touching
the
it.
glass. It is under the glass
Yeah.
dome.
I know it's got 120 foot range, so I don't need to be touching it.
So because it is under the glass, you would need to
Oh,
lift
no.
the glass.
Oh no. Okay.
Technically, even though you can see through it, you do not have line of sight.
Heck. Okay.
But
Fine.
can you just do a little little showing?
I am going to look at Natalie and say, "You want me to save the soul inside the phylactery? Move that jar."
Fine. Could you not ask the person standing directly beside it to do it?
No.
Ah, so you would rather endanger my life.
Yes.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
I think the less we ask him to do, the better.
Just know this. You're just getting this for like a solid 5
I thought
seconds.
you knew me. Natalie, I thought you knew me.
I
Shouldn't be fucking surprised. If you want this done, hurry.
Fine. And I guess I have to move over.
And look, I don't care that much if this works or not. I don't have any 4th level slots left. I only have 3rd and 5th, and I'm not wasting a 5th level spell slot on this dispel magic. So we're just gonna have to hope that works.
Just one thing before I do move. I would rather Oriana die doing something with conviction than live doing something with apathy. Just saying.
oh, you.
So,
Once again, the guilt tripping, it is not going to work.
I'm not guilt tripping you. I am simply asserting a point.
You would rather
again-
she die.
Noted.
I'm not saying that she should. You know what?
You
I
said
just won't.
you would.
The point.
Could ya, Natalie,
I
please?
whatever. I don't know that I even want to do it anymore. I do though.
You don't have to. I'm happy to not spend the spell slot.
Yeah, I guess I'll just head over. Did I just drop a dice on the floor? Yes.
Yeah, you walk over, and as you do, Talenolat walks around you and positions himself on the other side of the pedestal.
Just know, if you in some way kill me, these guys all the way to hell.
Hell
I-
isn't a threat.
I would be going there. That's the point.
Oh, that's a good point. You get enough in our level of hell. That'd be fun.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just come visit you on weekend.
I would pay a horde of soul coins to get my hands on your soul.
Very, very mature. I know.
He looks down at the glass and back up at you. And then back over at Oriana and Emmy.
Oh shit, has he signed yet?
He's not.
I also haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, I think he
So
wants
far-
us.
So far, y'all have been talking about whether or not you would agree or not, and you're coming closer to a conclusion, but he hasn't received the affirmation that
I did get the inclination
seems to
that
have
he
been looking
couldn't
for.
sign until we'd done this, though, from the way that he was talking about it.
I don't think it's the second he signs, he disappears.
Oh.
It's cemented then.
Yeah, actually.
right now, with his chest still like open, the contract is posed. It is not signed. It is not sealed. He just has like the one horizontal line of like what he's going to sign on to his own body.
If you could sign that before we take the next step.
With the current situation, I don't have the capacity to.
So yeah, we probably got to
What
do
part
this
of
bit.
the-
Little girl, why?
What part of the agreement has changed?
In order to retrieve the phylactery and the stone, with your current desires, the moment you lift the glass case, an alarm will sound, waking the beast.
Then why did
I
you
had
let me
intended to
look all
retrieve
way
the
over
two
here?
items without lifting the case.
In which case, done. Fine. I don't really give a shit if we resurrect Evelyn. I think this is a sacrifice that we should be willing to make.
Honestly, I think the good outweighs the Evelyn.
In fact, I think you can see it for yourself. And he leans down into the hoard and picks up bling, like a single clear gem and holds it up to you, Natalie, like offering. Put this to your eyes, you can see it.
The fuck? This feels very spy shit. Sure.
Yeah. You take the gem and it's just like this circular pomegranate gem that is absolutely pure. Honestly, if you didn't see like the coins that it displaced, you'd have thought it was just like a little divot in the coins. As you hold it up to your eyes, you have true sight for 10 minutes. You can see all magical auras. You can see invisible creatures. You can see everything. And for the first time in your life, you can see magic, and it is fucking everywhere. There's a lot of magic. Yeah, you see there is some sort of spell on the glass. You see this massive chronomantic spell disappearing into the ground. You see the necromancy of the object itself. You see the like anti-magic of the sort of skyrock. But even like looking around you, you can see like the magical aura of the dragon. Turning around behind you, you see the magic of your spiritual lineage. You can physically see behind you the timeline of your ancestors extending out to the end of your vision.
I'm the
Bright and
avatar.
fresh.
Cute.
You see Oriana, and there is invisible to apparently everyone what looks like a thundercloud above her head, and it is just rumbling and just constantly churning over itself.
I am not surprised.
Over Eminence, you see in between her horns what looks like half of a tiara in flames, and her eyes are not her eyes. They are someone else's eyes.
Hate that. I'm too many times. Do I get to see her eyes doing weird shit? I don't like that at all.
Lastly, you look at Alexia, and you can see that her like magical aura, her like aura of a person, is like a pane of glass that's been cracked. It's just shifted, split almost.
Sick. I am definitely dealing with some healthy individuals. All right.
But also looking at the glass case, you can see just like a very small like string of magic over the top of the case, and you get the sense that you could probably like untie it like a bow.
I don't really know magic that well. I don't know that I trust that. So it is a knot above the glass.
Yeah, it's like a little cobweb that's like draped over it, but the top of it is just this tiny little knot holding.
And it's connected to the glass?
It is. You get the sense that touching or moving the glass would force it to come into contact with this like cobweb shell.
Look, as much as I desperately want to do it, the problem is that I should respect the party's wishes as a player and not be just a cat that's like, fucking knock it off the edge. But also, Oriana did tell me to do it.
And what would Natalie do?
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Look, I feel as though I would attempt to undo it because I would be thinking about it from a practical perspective and thinking about it literally like a tripwire. So by undoing it, it would not be taught anymore and it would not be a problem.
Yeah, you get the impression that if you successfully dismantled the top of the knot, you can see it. You can see your own magical aura coming off of your fingers. Like looking all around you, you see all of the magic in the. Sorry, I just smacked my microphone. You see like all of the magic of the weave within the world around you. It's all connected. It's all just multiple threads of the same magical force. And you are touching that magical force. You don't know how. You don't know the spells, but
it's those mushrooms from earlier.
Exactly. Even an infant with scissors can still cut open a bow.
I'm going to ask a question to the guy that I don't trust. If I undo that, will it still go off?
Not if you do it correctly.
Brilliant. Yeah, why not?
We didn't catch any of that, but
Oh, yeah,
I
why
got the
not?
mood.
That's what I went with. My noise gate for my
I got the
Discord is
mood.
much higher than the one that you actually get on stream, so I keep whispering and you
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to
yeah.
hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd try it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm the one who's gonna get eaten, so it doesn't matter.
Awesome. So you reach forward and start trying to undo this spell?
I think I would very tentatively be like looking, I don't know, like does it come from anywhere? You said it was like cobwebs, right? Like it has to be attached to something?
So it is connected to the weave around it.
Right.
So basically, it's like in doing the symbols with your hands, you're literally touching different threads of the weave and tying them in a certain way, like sailor knots.
Yeah.
And you can literally see like where it is knotted up, there are threads heading off into the weave where it is drawing magic from elsewhere in the cosmos. You get the sense by undoing the knot, you would free up whatever is holding that magic in place, and it would dissipate, like a kink in a hose.
Yeah. We love some
Kinky hoses.
No, I'm trying to think of the word. Fucking, what is it? Super coiling?
I don't know what that is, but it sounds sick.
I can't remember if that's actually the term that I'm thinking of, but it's like when something turns so much that it like has potential energy because it's turned.
Turns in on itself like a
Yeah.
DNA strand.
Oh,
So I think that's super coiling.
Yeah. I was never very good at physics, so
That's awesome.
yeah, you can also go the other way, which is kind of cool because it comes really flat, but it's still got like potential energy. But you can tell it in a hose because like you can feel the hose wants to go somewhere. It's cool. Anyway, I'm distracting myself from what I'm trying to do next.
It's a tough situation.
I know knots. Do you think I could attempt to undo a magical knot in a similar way to undoing regular ones?
You could certainly try.
Yeah, sure. What do I do then?
It is going to be an Arcana check.
Fuck, I'm not Arcana-y.
So it is a DC 12 Arcana check that you can make with advantage because you can literally see the weave of magic.
Still
Feel like you can do that.
Yeah, it means that I have to get above a 13.
Feel like you can with advantage.
Don't roll bad. Or do. I'm not the boss of you.
I don't want to let him go. Do you think they can just roll forever? It's Schrodinger's roll.
You can do it.
It's simultaneously a fail and a
believe
pass. Are you actually for real? I'm going to send you... I'm not even going to tell you what I got. I'm just going to send you a picture.
Yeah, let's see it in Discord.
Okay, it's either a 1 or a 20.
Or it's a 13.
Or it's 13.
The universe said this. The universe went, this is how this goes. That is incredibly blurry. Also, ignore all the cat hair on my dice tray.
I literally have no idea what that says.
That's 14!
No,
It's
that
you
is
and
a
14?
4 and a 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the 14 is an up.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Four is
no.
up.
I mean, what? Yeah, it was definitely a 14.
Wait, so that's an unnatural 1.
Yes. No, well, no, it's a 3, actually.
No, it's
because it's
a 3,
advantage, not
but-
disadvantage, but...
But I don't know if I've ever had an unnatural 1 before. I'm sure we have, statistically.
You reach forward towards this magical aura, and it feels weird because
Oh
there's
my
nothing
god,
there.
I just had a fucking thought.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue and then tell me at what point I can have a thought as soon as this thing happens and the next step happens? I just want to interject this one thing that I should have
Yes.
thought of. All right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Go
yeah.
for it.
So you reach forward and you slowly begin to undo this knot of magical weave, and it's clumsy because your own magical aura isn't crisp or clear on your own fingers. You don't have a sense for it compared to like these sharp lines that are holding this super coiled knot of magical energy together. And like you slip a couple of times and you twist off the knot, and it's having difficulty coming apart. You're avoiding like the cage itself, like the activation, but it's still just holding all of this magical energy, and you can't get it to come together until finally your finger sort of slips off of it, and it still remains taut. It's not broken, but you're like, "Fuck, that fucked up." And as you look up, you see pinching and a paper thread line of the weave is Talenolat. Just holding it there, watching this toddler play with a super collider. And he's just holding his two fingers together on this one single thread, just observing.
Fucking.
And as you sort of look up to him, he gives you just the most asshole smile of like, go on.
I have a fucking knife that cuts the weave. Yeah. That's the thought I had. All right? I said that very loudly. I'm sorry if that absolutely blew out my mic.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. He's just standing there holding it, watching.
I think just intense eye you know what? I did not think at any point in my life that Natalie would ever have an enemies to lover moment, but could be right now. I will make direct eye contact with this asshole as I pull the knife out of my side and just go.
Just cut the line.
Yep.
Yeah. The spell just immediately fizzles and dissipates. You see like the knot of magic tied together, almost kind of like flips for a second before resetting back and like fading into these invisible strands. And there is what you can only describe as the most delicious moment, as there is a look of absolute surprise and befuddlement on Talenolat's face as he sees what you do. And then his eyes go to the dagger.
Oh no!
Absolutely not. You are not having my fucking dagger.
And he turns back to Oriana and says, "The terms have changed." And he crosses out the line on his chest.
I will fucking stab him with it. I have no fear. He's not actually your brother, is he?
No relation.
Okay, there was a moment where I was like, hang on.
He's a messenger to Mephistopheles. Basically, because he is good at looking good and talking good, he is the Lord Mephistopheles has summoned you person. But he knows the two of you personally because you grew up with him, so he just treats you like shit.
I will fucking stab him. If he does anything suspicious. No one's having this fucking knife.
Yeah.
I'm going to point at him and I'm going to be like, you need to stay there. We'll discuss this in a second. Natalie, just finish what the fuck you're doing.
Then with my free hand, I will pull up the glass.
Yeah. Blink. It picks up easily. No alarm or anything happens or goes off.
And I am going to dispel it, the phylactery, specifically.
Awesome. Go ahead and... Oh boy, this is a challenge.
Yay! I love that for me.
This is a Dispel Magic cast as a 9th level spell. So Dispel Magic, what level are you casting Dispel Magic?
I'm just doing it at
Awesome. The DC is 19. So you need to make an ability check with your spell casting ability.
+3. Okay. Be nice to me. Oh my god! That's an 18! Plus my
You need
3.
a
Plus my
19,
3.
so that's
Plus my
21.
I kind of personally didn't want it to work, so I could just be like, well, I fucking tried, but I am still very pleased.
Mm. You cast this dispel magic, and really only because you've got your detect magic still up, you see like inside of the necromantic energy, it kind of like fades and flickers for a moment, and there's just the faintest sort of twinkle of light, and then that's it. Like you get the sense that your spell hit and took effect,
Yep.
but you don't see anything that happens or changes. No like ghost comes out and is like, thank you.
You mean Ori didn't come out and be like,
Ooh.
ooh.
I'm just gonna. You can put that down now.
I think I'm holding it like you would like a fucking bottle shiv.
Are you coming back? You. The terms have changed.
Are you speaking to Telenolette?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
What now?
I will uphold our previous agreement as written with the addendum that I must also be taking that dagger.
I'm going to look at Natalie, assuming she's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I am gonna be a problem.
I mean, what use do we have of a dagger that could potentially do a lot of harm to any one of us at any point? Maybe we do just give it away?
Alexia kind of chimes in. It's also not yours.
Shut up, Alexia.
It's mine. What will you give me for the dagger? And Telenot looks over. I can fix you and then some, my dear.
Don't listen to him.
Okay. I'm going to like turn to Alexia and kind of like grab her by both of her shoulders and just like
Yeah,
look
she looks
straight
at you.
into her eyes. You don't want to be making deals with these people, okay?
It seems
It always does. It always does. Just, you don't want to get into this, okay? Once you're in it, you don't get out.
make a persuasion check with
Okay.
advantage. That was compelling. I am compelled.
I'm a persuasive bitch too. That's a nat 20 with a +8.
Oh.
Wow. Oh my god. Yeah.
Persuasive bitch.
Yeah, you take her by the shoulders. She looks at you. Okay.
I'm gonna kind of like do that awkward sort of like squeeze before I let go. Okay.
She like awkwardly reaches up a hand and like pats you on the shoulder.
Also, not yours to give away. Sour dagger now. Anyway,
I don't remember giving it away.
You didn't. We took it.
Thievery. Yes.
I would more say brute force.
You can steal something via brute force, Natalie. Are you going to hand over the knife?
No. But I suppose it doesn't matter because you make the contract, not me.
I'd be happy to sign a contract with you, Natalie.
I don't want to sign one with you though.
I sign on my own name.
I don't know why I'm a child suddenly.
So petulant.
I think I would say this
Chocolate,
even
see it.
in character though, like, but it is true. I don't need to be the one that signs.
Nobody's signing.
No.
He's basically signing this on his like own recognizance. He's making a promise based on his soul. He's not signing anything to us. We're not signing anything to him. It's just a binding
Yes,
promise.
but I more mean
Mm.
we don't all have to agree, I think is the implication.
No, we don't all have to agree, but currently you're holding the knife.
Yeah, cool. I don't think he'll have too much of a struggle when he goes, hey, I want that. If you go, yeah, sure.
No
Yes.
reason to just give it to him.
Exactly. You don't have to take the path of most resistance.
It's not the path
could
of
just
most
hand it
resistance.
over.
I don't want to give this knife
It will
away.
be.
I'm not doing it. Just know that.
Just to be clear for the context of this conversation, you are getting something. You're getting to walk out of this alive.
And so are a bunch more people, Natalie.
We also walked in here alive, so
Not out of this room specifically. Out of this time loop. Out of this situation. We do this. Everybody walks out of this situation alive. They go back to their families, relatively unharmed, possibly mentally a little bit fucked in the head. But half of them were in hospital anyways, so. This
rude,
is
for starters.
basically a win-win situation.
You want
getting
to
rid of some-
hand this knife that severs magic to essentially your father.
You don't even like magic.
I don't particularly like putting very powerful weapons in very powerful people's hands.
I think you're not quite understanding that this is basically going to be a trinket.
Mm.
As far as very powerful items go, this is a curiosity.
Mhm. He loses interest in things quickly.
Your dad might. I don't think he does.
What I really want to say, but I don't say because he can hear us, is then don't be so interesting to him.
But I'm not. I just had to use it because I'm silly and I can't undo a knot, apparently. I pulled where I should have pushed or something. I don't know.
Mm.
I can't really
So
go
while
over there
I-
because I'm loud and jiggly, but can I gesture that over to myself?
He sees you gesture and looks back over at Natalie and steps and circles once again around the pedestal, taking the long way, and begins to walk over towards you. And as he does, he holds out his hand and just gently lets his fingertips drag along the chin of this beast until he walks clear
He
and
is
approaches you.
threatening us.
I thought that
No
was obvious
shit.
from the beginning. Yes, dear daughter.
I need something from you, and I'm willing to pay for it at this point.
I'm listening.
And I would like to pitch this low enough that Natalie can't hear.
Wait, where am I? Can I hear this?
The two
You're
of you are
pretty
side by
close to me.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because I'm like, what the fuck?
Would you like to have this conversation in private?
It's fine.
I understand.
I will become a lip reader.
But you're not right now. I need
Learn
you
to
to
read
leave
first.
her alone. And I'm going to... Well, you know, Natalie's probably watching this, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to gesture at Natalie. She can't hear.
I would also like to point out I am still holding the glass like a shiv and the knife pointed at him, even though he's on the other side of the room. Like, I literally must look
He's
so
15 feet away.
pathetic beside this giant Leviathan just holding this fucking tiny ass glass and this little tiny knife.
But dear daughter, she's so much fun.
Oh, I know. And you can't have her.
I'm not interested in her, though I will be later. I want her
This is
weapon.
what this is a there will be no later. Once this is done, you will have no contact with Natalie ever again.
What
If
do you
she's in the
offer
same room
trade?
as us, you just ignore her. What do you want
offer in
from me?
trade? I would bind you to my undeniable service for a period of 55 days.
55 days for my life. Damn, I'm not worth much at all. He wasn't kidding.
You may keep your soul. You may keep whatever claim that one has to you.
Which one is
55
that
I have a
days.
claim. No, I think he's.
He didn't motion to another person. He motioned to above your head.
That one.
Daddy. I'm going to look at Eminence because I'm like, Natalie is absolutely fucking infuriating. But I think she's made herself a target, and this seems like it needs to be done. But like,
So it also
Yeah.
doesn't have to be yes and no. You can negotiate. You can counteroffer. This is not like a. You're not at a gas station buying a Snickers
that's a good
bar.
point.
This is the two of you sitting across a table trying to come to an agreement.
Let me do it.
No,
Yes, look, I've already. It costs me a lot less than it costs you. Essentially, nothing would change for me.
Don't think that's
Dear
what you meant to
daughter,
say
I'm
to
afraid.
the person that's making the deal.
I'm afraid you're already accounted for.
Well, then let me offer something else. To leave her
I'm
alone.
listening.
What would it take?
I really think that we're all of a sudden putting far too much value on Natalie.
Hey, I take.
What
offense
would
to
it
that.
take?
Hmm. His eyes sort of flash red for a moment, and you realize he's doing that deep look once again. Thank you so very much for calling me. I believe you have something of equal value. you would have your friend unmolested by my interests. In
Yes.
exchange, I would have a name that you contain on your person.
Absolutely not.
A name. A name I know.
Absolutely not. Eminence.
You don't. Oh, wait. Do you know that I know?
I know that you had a book filled with demon names. You didn't tell me that you took one, but I am now making this assumption.
I agree.
Wonderful. And he just holds out his hand. Actually, he holds out both hands. Left hand is open. Right hand, a roll of parchment. Writes out.
If you go
No
anywhere
trickery.
near that scroll, I am picking up that rock and I'm throwing it at Leviathan. Just so you know.
Let me just check what offensive spells I have that could neutralize Natalie.
I also apparently will still have true sight at this point. I feel like I would see some fucking shit going on over there.
Oh, god damn it, you have true
So
sight. There goes my Natalie, trust me, cast darkness and then sign it plan.
Eminence, would you like to have this conversation in private?
So
All right.
regretting that I didn't.
I am
think that
making a motion like I'm going to throw this glass at the Leviathan right now.
Okay, I see her making that motion. And I'm gonna she's kind of far away, so I'm going to do the sort of like calm
He
down
looks
gesture.
at you again and says, "Would you like to have this conversation in private?"
Yes, I just don't want her to.
He just snaps his
Right.
fingers halfway through the sentence, and Natalie and Oriana, you watch as the two of them just whoosh, they're gone.
Please don't throw a glass at a Leviathan.
You find yourself in an office building. Simple glass desk, metal legs coming down, comfortable plush chair on one side, another comfortable plush chair on the other. You can see to the left a broad fireplace is roaring happily away. On the table, there's like a pitcher with two crystalline glasses. To the right, there's a broad window open that looks out over this beautiful park of different trees and gardens. A small stream trickles by. And in the chair across from you on the other side of the table sits Telenalat. Now, where were we?
I want something else as well in the contract.
Name your price.
You leave Natalie alone. You leave all of my friends alone. And you don't offer Oriana a deal like that ever again. You don't bind her to your service or anyone else's.
You're upping the ante, dear daughter.
I have the name of a pit fiend. How often do you come across one of those?
You can see he has he's like flipping a pen in his fingers, and as you mention Pit Fiend specifically, his hand just kind of reflexively tightens on the pen before forcibly loosening. It happens.
Not often, I imagine. And naturally, the rest of our request stands. You take the phylactery You end the time loop. Everybody lives. Everybody's happy. You leave us alone. Until we call you again.
Had I known you would be this much trouble when you were younger, I would have just killed you off early. Fine. And this time, when he makes a motion with his hand on the table, instead of parchment rolling out, what looks like dried leather just slowly unfolds across the table.
I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time. Can I read it?
Of course.
I would like to read it just to make sure there's no weird hidden clauses or he's trying to throw anything else in there that shouldn't belong.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a. What do you think this is to investigate a contract?
Investigating a contract. Insight
Investigation,
or
insight. Yeah, yeah.
perception?
I would say insight or investigation because you're
Oh,
specific. You're not
cool.
looking at it. You're like looking into it.
Cool. I'm definitely going with investigation then. It's the only one that's not a
Okay.
negative. Still an 8 though.
8. It's fairly straightforward. Uh, leaving Natalie, leaving your friends, um, not asking for your sister's service, and fulfilling the prior terms heretofore listed as taking the phylactery, taking the stone, not looking at the dragon, restoring the time loop, yada yada yada. There is one bit in the contract that's a bit vague on the definition of your friends. And you realize that that is intentionally open.
I want Aery's name on here, and I would like it amended to say anyone that I define as a friend.
Now that's simply unreasonable, dear daughter. You could claim your entire plane of existence. Upper
Anyone,
limit 12.
deal.
We'll make it 13 for luck. And he amends. And yeah, the rest of the contract looks straightforward and clean. Again, very strict legalese. You know the one thing that devils are, and that is lawful. They are evil. They take pleasure in the pain and suffering of others, but they follow a binding word to a T. And as such, there is an art to this. You like looking at the contract, you can kind of see like why Telenolot is specifically Mephistopheles' messenger. There is like an artistry to how this is constructed. It's a dick move, but he is a devil. So, yeah, he has the parchment all set up and squared away, and offers you a quill and a small needle.
Yep, pretty sure I know what to do with that. Uh,
Stab him in the eye.
I'm
If you need to
Right.
use your hands, I recommend back of the palm.
just because I was already holding my hands like this, even though you can't see it on the camera, just to,
Mhm.
because I don't like being told what to do. Stab in my palm.
Yep.
Not a lot
Little
though,
prick.
like just enough to create like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
surface wound.
Just a
And
bubble. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Or a bead. Yeah, yeah.
I sign my name in blood.
Yeah. The moment the quill touches the blood, you can see it just like sucks it up like ink. And the pen writes across the dried leather skin beautifully. Fantastic pen for signing your name in blood. Wonderful. Uh, and with that, he just kind of plucks out of the air a single page and you can immediately recognize it as the folded page from your pocket, and he unfolds it open. Thank you for your business, dear daughter. Folds it up quietly, and unless we have any other business to attend to.
Take me back to my friends, please.
As you ask, and snaps his fingers, and immediately the two of them reappear back there. Meanwhile, Natalie and Oriana, you just watched Emmy vanish with Talonolap. Gone. Like your true sight, they are just one moment they are there, and Natalie, you can see like a single thread way off in the distance blinks insanely bright for just a moment and almost seems to like pull them away.
It's like a weird game of charades. I'm just like,
Come here. Come here.
I don't think I will though, because with him gone, can I look at the pedestal a little more?
Yeah, totally.
The connection to the phylactery, now that the phylactery is dispelled, like they were kind of on the same thing, right?
Yeah, so what she did was she dispelled the imprisonment in the phylactery, holding the soul in place. The phylactery is still a phylactery.
Yeah.
It's still romantic and shit. The phylactery has no connection to the time
Other
loop.
than proximity.
Yes,
And
it is placed at the center of
the time loop is more of like a mechanical thing at this point, right?
So it is an art. It isn't a spell. It is chronomantic in nature. You've got time. Make a perception check or investigation check with advantage. You could do Arcana as well.
Is it okay if
I would even
opt
reckon
for
like
perception?
yeah. Like you've got time to sit and look at this for a moment.
All right.
Because with the true sight, you can really look at it and take it.
23.
23, yeah. You don't know magic. You don't know how magic works. Very obviously, however, it is apparent that this sky rock is fucking up the spell. As far as you can tell, it looks like the sky rock is like a sponge, just absorbing magic from a finely tuned machine. You get the sense that it would be as easy as just removing the sky rock.
Fucking hate this. I said I fucking hate this, but I whispered it so my mic didn't pick it up. So you just got me going. Pick up a sky rock there. It's gonna make you feel bad. I'm gonna motion to the rock. Just gonna go. I'm gonna keep doing it until Mel pays attention.
Pay attention. What exactly do you expect me to do? I can't come over there. I'm Jingle Jangles.
I'm motioning.
Like, I am
do you want me to do it?
No, I don't.
Then maybe I want to do it more.
We have like a contract in place to deal with this. Don't you fucking touch that rock. I'm gonna, again, point at the ground, like, in front of me. Like, I need to talk to you.
I'm gonna ignore it when she does that. Does it look like there's any kind of trap around the rock, like there was with the glass?
I use Mage Hand to slap her.
Nope. No trap, no nothing. The trap was on. You get the sense that the trap was an alarm on the glass and a great worm.
So I apparently feeling in a chaotic mood today, would like to cat swipe the rock, but I don't know if I should. And I know that Mel really doesn't want me to do it. I mean, Oriana really doesn't want me to do it. But that kind of makes me want to do it more. Because
You are chaotic today.
I know. I don't know. I think I'm feeling chaotic.
I think it's not just lost her name for a second. It's not just what's the face who's half mad. It's also fucking Natalie.
Well, part of me also logics though that like if it was Natalie and she literally saw the thing that was doing it, I think she'd want to break it. So I think this is like her way of not breaking it because you told her not to break it, but it's her way of breaking it because she figures it's like disrupting it.
It's nice to know that you don't fucking trust me, because I explained this to you earlier, that that's what was happening. I have to see it for myself. Fucking Thomas.
I was making
I will
sure.
say at this point in time, your true sight wears off and your vision goes back to normal.
If she's not back in 10 seconds, I'm taking it.
If you come here, I can explain what the fuck is happening.
No.
You're acting like a child. She's not here. This is your fault. It is absolutely your fault, and you need to come here so I can explain what's going on before they get back, and you can fuck this up further.
I'm sorry, Mother. I don't think I'll be doing that.
I'm gonna set it on fire. Oh, fucking God. Like, Oriana's like muttering that. She's not like making it heard now, but she is muttering. And I would like to imagine she's just started getting like flames like flickering around her hands while she's kind of just like, I'm gonna strangle you and I'm going to burn you and we're gonna bury you underneath this fucking light.
As you're saying
come
that,
over here.
Alexia next to you doesn't say anything. She just reaches into her pocket and holds out a tinderbox.
Thank you. I can make my own fire, but I appreciate that we're on the same page.
Puts it into her pocket.
Did you have that the whole time? I thought we searched you.
At this point in time, Chocolatiers and Emmy reappear in the same spot.
8, 9, 10. The fuck did you go? I whispered and you couldn't hear me. The fuck did you go?
You're muted.
Oh, wait, stop.
Why did I do this for you're muted? What the fuck?
Makes sense. Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
I believe it's not currently, but how are you fixing it?
We've come to an agreement.
Your mess. By the way,
I have done nothing. You asked me to come over here. And I have touched
and then I asked you to come back.
nothing. But I will if someone doesn't make a move.
I'm going to need you. You know what? I'm misty stepping, like right in front of her. I'm going to need you to continue touching nothing. He's going to take the phylactery now. Everything's fine. We're getting out of here. You can keep the dagger.
Fine. I can continue not doing anything.
All I ask.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look back at Chocolatiers, like kind of like a hurry the fuck up kind of face.
He's just watching and enjoying the show, and once you finally look at him, he's like, fine. And as you blink, he takes like a single step forward, but he travels like 15 feet. He does like that teleport walk so that he takes a single step and he's just right up there next to you. Reaches down in one hand, picks up the phylactery, and the other picks up the stone, pockets the two of them, sort of looks at the top of the pedestal for a moment, and fixed now or fixed when it resets automatically?
Personally, I'd rather not burn one last time.
Fair enough. It's been fun, dear daughters. And Natalie, I won't be seeing you again.
Fine with me.
And with that, he reaches down to the gold ring in the center and, like a DJ, just sort of spins it a little bit. And yeah. Everything goes white.
Wee.
And we're dead forever.
And the three of you come to standing at the entrance to Ridden's Dredge. You see birds flying outside, blue sky, mid to late afternoon. Insects brilling in the afternoon sun. There is suddenly a rushing hum of voices of conversation as you realize you're surrounded by people, the people of Ridden's Dredge, the people whom you've come to know over the past several days of this time loop. Ephramal, Evelyn, Edmund, Duck is there, Quinn, the whole gang. Baldo, Adrian, Tulvir. You see Herod, Arnell, Maylee is there along with Yana. Alexia is also standing there next to you. And Thrinarv looks over at the rest of you, confused for a moment, and says, It wasn't midnight. What just happened? Do you remember that?
Better you don't ask questions. It's fixed.
I'm kind of looking between the two of them and the sour faces, like, we fixed it. Guys,
I don't know why you're looking so fucking happy.
We also don't know anything about what's going on right now. How about we all regroup?
how about we go find all of the town members that weren't in the time loop?
Does
Sure.
anybody else look confused, by the way? Is it just
Yes.
because Threnov remembers, so does it look like other people remember being gone? Or is it
Yeah,
the
so-
people that were left here that are confused about the people that were gone being back? Or is everyone confused?
You see confusion all around. You see Edmund, Evelyn, and Ethramal standing together, and the two seem to be embracing Evelyn, very clearly remembering that she was gone and that she is back. You see Akbanak has Volnbjorn on his shoulder, like walking around inside Ridden's Dredge with like just a cheerful jaunt. You see Duck is sort of in the back, and he's trying to use his elbows to open a cabinet. Judging by the reactions of people, you've restarted this day a number of times. This reaction from everyone is new. Even the two Kuotoa that normally just like book it out the door the moment they restart the day, they're kind of stopped and they're looking around like, shit, is going to see the Deep Father a good idea? Like, even they're paused. Just at a glance, it looks like everyone seems to remember.
For fish people, we should really not get them to eat more fish. Hey. I don't think that ever occurred to me until just now. That we fed them
We're
tuna
feeding them tuna.
and their fish.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. I feel like, but then I also have the sense of deja vu that we've had this realization before.
I love
think
that,
this
We
is the
like,
actually had
third
this
time.
conversation before.
yeah.
Yeah, I think this is
I
the
do
third
love
time.
though that canonically, like that's Natalie's thought process. She just sees the Koatoa and she's like, huh, oops.
Oopsie. Herod runs out and just immediately goes by and hugs each of you one by one, remembering new friends.
I want to hug him back enthusiastically and then check my pockets.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely. You hug him back enthusiastically. He 100% just like, for being such a small, wiry guy, he's like the good hug kind of guy, like chest to chest, all in. Yeah, after you finally separate, you check your pockets. Everything is there. There are a couple of rocks of salt added to your pockets. And same thing for
A
you as well,
snack.
Natalie.
Love that. Where's my
Yeah.
knife?
It's still there.
Yep, okay, good.
I don't think this knife is a good influence on you.
I want my knife.
I'm remembering like everything that happened with like the last person that became obsessed with one of these rocks.
No, I'm not obsessed
And
with the
spent too much
knife.
time
Hey.
You
around
think
one
you're
of
not
these
obsessed with
rocks.
it?
Like I mentioned, the only person I trust with this knife is me, and you all should only
Yeah.
trust yourselves with this knife. So, just
But
putting this out
remember
there.
how the space rock makes people a little bit insane?
I'm fine.
You know how you've been acting?
I'm
You know, a little
fine.
bit insane today?
I haven't been enacting insane. You just keep
Yes, you
putting
have.
me in places where I can do things.
Alexia leans in and kind of almost haltingly says, that, and she kind of points to the knife, will break you.
Yeah, I don't intend on having it forever, but I'm also not giving it back to you. You do know that, right? It's not doing you any good.
I'm going to look at Eminence and I'm going to just we should have fucking knocked her out and taken the knife and sent it to hell. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I think
Okay.
we are exchanging the same. This is going to become a problem.
I am implying that maybe we give it back to
You're not
someone
smart enough to
else.
understand what we're saying.
Yeah,
Hey!
yeah. This is all being exchanged in sisterly glances.
Right. It's all just vibes.
Yeah.
You've got to learn to Leonard's trick of being like, do you want to have this conversation in private? And then
Do you want to have this conversation very public?
oh boy. Yeah, Yana and Meili start making their way towards the pot along with a couple of other folks. Baldo and Paranel start heading over as well. Rinarv heads over to Quinn and Von Buer to help basically do a head count and keep track of everything that seems to have happened. I need to check my notes real quick. But yeah, it seems as though people are going about their day.
We should go check out the town. Make sure everyone's fine.
You cut out
We
there.
should go to town and make sure everyone is fine. If I say it in a sing-song voice, apparently captures it all.
I agree.
I personally don't give a shit about that. Did we, when we got here, tell the company where we were and what we were doing? Because we've been gone for a while. Do they know where we were staying? Should I, like, if there's somewhere to go look for mail, where would that be?
So you sent a paper bird.
Yeah.
When you basically took on this assignment. I don't think you sent one saying where you were staying. The paper bird also tries to find you if you're on this plane of existence. So if they responded back by paper bird, it would have flown towards you. However, you weren't really on this plane.
No.
So it's tough to say.
Okay. I'm presuming that I don't get pelted in the head by a bird right now. I'm gonna write a note to say that we're back on a little bird, with a very brief explanation of what went on, not mentioning the fact that we sent part of the rock to hell. Am mentioning the part where Natalie has a rock knife and I think it's going to cause problems.
Hey, I am all for turning it over to them.
Do you mention the dragon?
I don't think he's causing anybody any problems.
Okay. Do you mention the lich?
I don't think he's going to be causing anybody any
Do you mention the fact that Alexia was basically an assassin?
Yes.
And that there is some sort of organization?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also going to say, if she sends off a birdie note, can I watch Alexia? Like, if Alexia is seeing this happen, I just want to like insight check her reaction to see if she's like, ah, yes, one of those birds I send all the time to my boss.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been hiding it. I would have gone to probably sit somewhere so I had like a surface to write on where I'm not standing up. But I'm not hiding that I'm writing this note.
You were probably next to, oh gosh, what's her name? Aery. Who was working on a new puzzle. Yes. Go ahead and make an insight check into Alexia as you send off the paper bird. Alexia like looks and sees it. But her expression is largely blank.
What's an 18?
18. Yeah. Whatever Alexia seems, based on what she just said to Natalie about the dagger and how difficult it was to say, you get the sense that whatever enabled her to sort of reclaim her full cognition is gone. And right now, this is the shattered glass Alexia. Maybe there is recognition, maybe there wasn't, but her expression is disappointingly placid.
Sad.
Yeah, you send off the paper bird. A moment later, your humming disc begins to buzz in your pocket.
Oh shit, my boyfriend. I should answer that.
Are you going to?
I have
or
a
are you just going to
moment.
say you should?
No, as it starts to go off in my pocket, I think, shit, I didn't even consider putting his name in the contract.
You said
And then
friends.
I pick up the humming disc. Then I answer.
You have 13 friends.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking it's very bold of
What
him
if you
to assume
become
I have 13
exes?
friends.
Can you remove someone from your friends list?
Remove him from my top 8.
Yeah.
Oh no. Demonic MySpace.
That was a reference
Isn't that
people
just what
watching this
MySpace
won't get.
Yeah. Yeah, it buzzes in your pocket. Finally, you pick it up, and immediately the voice comes through. Eminence? Eminence, are you there?
Yeah. Hi. Sorry. How long has it been?
What
for you?
happened? For me, we were talking every night, and then 6 days ago, you just stopped picking up completely. I got a little worried, and I'm about 5 days out from the pot.
Oh, okay.
We've been writing
sorry.
hard.
So he got worried after a day?
So it was a 2-week trip, and he said that he's 5 days out and 6 days have passed. So he's been traveling more than
I thought he said, though, that you've
more
been
than a day's
talking
pace
every
for-
night, and then 6 days ago you stopped
Yeah.
hearing from him, and he's 5 days out. Which
5 days ago, he got on a horse.
He's traveling hard.
Jesus. Okay. Right. Sorry. Didn't mean to ghost you. Funny story. So we were on a different sort of plane of I don't know if it was a different plane of existence. We were stuck in a time loop, and it's only been 6 days. That's actually kind of good news. Anyway, hi. I'm
Hi.
fine.
Wow.
I'm fine.
That's a time loop. Well, I mean, the other plane of existence, that explains why we couldn't communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sorry. You were very reliable, and I got worried, and I know your profession, so I kind of had a bit of a overreaction.
no, that's so sweet. That's really sweet. Um, you're probably really busy back home. I wouldn't want you to be like put out. You really don't have to come all the way here. But it's so sweet that you were worried.
But I want to come out now. I want to hear all about this time loop and
Oh,
other plane of existence.
good. That's really good. Well, you don't
That's
have to like
you
rush,
don't
I guess. We're fine.
seem you don't seem like that. I can head back. Do you want me to head back?
No, of course not. I've been in a time loop. I'm just
What?
tired. It's fine.
Yeah, you take some time, take some space. Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too. I, take care. And hangs up.
Did you just, sorry, I'm busy.
Gaslight, gatekeep.
Girl boss.
Yep.
So it's mid-afternoon. For the first time in about a week, you realize that it's about 2 p.m.
Very exciting.
Nice.
Heading back to town, you see that you are back at the pot, the usual regular one. It's noticeable as you begin to get closer towards the pot itself, as you can see smoke and steam rising up, the telltale signs of life other than your own. And even before you crest over the ridge, just the volume of conversation. Very clearly, this is going to be an event that's going to be talked about for years, involving the people of the pot. And coming over the top, you can see that there are crowds gathered. People are clustering around each other. About a quarter of them are in bathing suits and are dripping wet. You could see a feast is already on its way to being prepared up north. The monastery at the Tengbuche Monastery. Over down at the tavern, you can see. Oh gosh, what's his name? You could see the stoner innkeeper. Um, he's putting out this big old bowl of like incense out in front, and he has like people just coming by and just like scooping pipes of this incense, and they're just happily going around and about with it. Most of the people from the Ridden's Dredge have made their way over to town to catch up with people and to get out of that place for at least a minute. Even Area was placed in a wheeled chair and has been rolled out by Quinn and Von Bure to meet up with the rest of the family. And you do get to see the family of Yana and Fallen back together. Tomas and Meili are running in circles as the two of them are embracing for the first time in ages. Herod is going around the crowd like an absolute just nymph. Like Puck in a Shakespearean play. He's having an absolute blast. You could see Paranel is over by Kinsey and seems to be catching him up on the situation. It's a whole big old thing. And as you come over, Thrinarv is there with everyone else. And immediately just grabs the three of you in a great big half giant hug as he picks the three of you up off the ground. Oh, I was a bit worried for a moment there. Things were a bit touch and go with making progress, but I don't know what you did. I would love to hear your side of the story. You have to let me buy you drinks.
– I think we
Why the fuck
fucking
not?
need one.
We could use a drink.
Absolutely. And as the sun continues to crawl its way across the sky, we'll just say that the pot turned into an absolute banger of a party for the night as the party gets a chance to rest and relax free of the time loop. And we will adjourn our session with that conclusion. Is there anything you want to do before we close up those threads?
Not before, but at some point in time, I've got to yell at Eminence.
Okay. Well, then we'll
And
have
I
to
think
save that.
she knows that.
Yeah.
We'll have to save that for next week then.
Oh, yeah.
Time to let it simmer. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Y'all are level 10 now.
See.
You solved my puzzle.
I mean, solved. We paid someone to solve it for us.
Still solving it.
Technically winning, the best kind.
Yes.
Eminence and Oriana nobility. It's generally how they solve problems.
True. Very true.
It's par for the course, actually. Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I have been D. I have been your dungeon master for the evening. If you want to find out my information, it's down in the doobly-doo below. We're going to go ahead and run through some info about our players before we send off towards another channel for the evening. We'll start with Aery this time. We'll go the opposite direction. Aery, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi. I am Maleficent. I play Oriana. She has anger issues because I have anger issues. But I can't make fire, so everybody is relatively safe in real life. I am a streamer and a cosplayer. I'm all over the internet doing all sorts of stuff, including, and I feel like we never say this, on Tuesday nights, there's another campaign on this channel. It's currently not the book club. That's on a break. We are playing a Monster of the Week mini campaign. We don't cross promote our campaigns, and I don't know
We
why.
talk about Chocolatiers on Tuesdays usually. Because we always say,
I don't.
look to see us on Sunday.
Oh, we
But
do.
we don't ever actually go on Sunday, look to see us on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The week's ended, so therefore.
We have another campaign, and it's not like our least favorite child. Like, that's not why we don't mention it. Just maybe, because it's the end of the week. We're not like, hey, later in the week. Yeah, so,
Also, it's
Tuesdays as
yeah.
well. Monster of the Week right now. It's really fun. The new system for most of us. It's great. Anyway, you can find me all over the internet. I also have doobly-doos.
Correct.
Link in the doobly. Eminence.
Hi, I forgot how much fun it is to play D&D and Eminence. This is awesome. We're out of the time loop. I'm so
We did
excited.
it.
Yeah, I am not all over the internet. If you can find me, I will be mad because it will mean you have doxed me. But like, try. Yeah, that's me.
Dox me, bitches.
Dox me, bitches.
It sounds like you're almost saying like the Scottish like I dox me bitches. Wonderful. Natalie.
Hi, I exist on the internet. I also exist in real life, though it is a bit of a myth. Not too sure. It will be a myth if I keep acting like a cat who has a bottle on the side of a table when it comes to big shiny rocks. All right. I do things. You can look at me up in the panels below, but otherwise, I'm here Sunday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, lots of days of the week. But on this channel, Sundays and Tuesdays.
Love it. We will look at you up.
I cease to exist on Saturdays, so you can't see me then.
Ah, yes. Classic temporal existence. It's a shame.
I don't know.
Yeah, we hope to be back next week. Pay attention to the Twitter for updates as we figure stuff out and get closer. In the meanwhile, do we have another channel to
We do.
pass the baton?
We are going to go see someone who's doing charity stuff. They're doing a 24-hour stream. I don't like 24-hour streams for people, only because I want them to look after themselves. But it looks like they are having a drink of some description. Therefore, I like to think that they are fueling themselves in an appropriate way. And I hope that they are taking appropriate breaks. But be nice when you go over there, send dudes, have fun, and we're going to go say hello to a new person.
Love it. Wonderful. Great. Fantastic. Good.
Bye!
Is that it? We're saying bye? We're saying goodbye.
That's what
Okay.
we do. Bye!
Goodbye.